welcome back to episode 94 of Tall Boy Radio. This week we're going to try something a little bit different again. We've had Dave on asking questions this time. It's going to be a little bit of a twist to that. But before we get into that, let's let the guys who are going to be answering the questions say hello first and tell us a little bit about what you're drinking. That's the easiest question you'll have to answer tonight.
I hope it isn't the easiest question that I have to answer tonight. Listen, enjoyed recording the last episode. It was great to catch up with the guys again, having been sort of absent for the previous two. Interested to see where this one goes. I listened back to the Devil's Advocate sort of episode, so I'm a little bit sceptical as to what this entails. But for this episode, I'm drinking a good old favourite Lef, and out of original genuine TBR merch. And again, if you notice, mine does still say the TBR podcast, unlike somebody's who is about to be introduced.
Andy McCaulin.
We seem to have synced up because I'm on the old left.
Whee.
Lovely stuff. And I'm drinking it out of my...
Yeah, but was that the smaller bottle?
new
You see, I
favourite
went the bigger bottle, you see, so you've obviously on the smaller bottle. Woo.
It's just my hands to make it look small.
Whereas Gaz's little beetle hands make it look like a big bottle.
Dinklage, if you don't mind, Dinklage.
Let's not go down that route. Gee whiz. Well, I'm drinking a beer, and I'll tell you what, I've been looking forward to this one. This one's been sat in my cupboard for a while, and I've been looking forward to busting it out on the podcast. This is a collaboration beer between Northern Monk and Lervig, and it is North Star 3. And it is a Black Forest Imperial Stout that comes in at a mighty 9%. And I tell you what, dude, this one is absolutely fantastic. And it's probably going to rip the back out of my throat, and I'm going to regret it. But gee whiz, I'm going to enjoy it nonetheless. So the concept for this one, and I had this idea way back when we were doing the original one, where we did a different subject every week. And the idea is this week, I've cherry-picked some questions from the 100 most Googled questions of 2021 so far, and see how you guys get on answering them. There's going to be ones that have got correct answers. There's going to be ones which are going to be slightly better, which have opinions. So let's just kick off with a nice easy one. 368,000 people have Googled this question so far this year. Is Mercury in retrograde?
Yes.
Oh, Andy?
I don't understand the question, but no.
I'll be honest with you, mate. I didn't understand the question. I had to Google what any of it meant. And the answer is actually no. It's an astrological thing, but it's also an astronomical thing as well. From September the 27th to October the 18th, it was in retrograde, dude. So you're only wrong by 2 weeks by the time we're recording this month, by the time we release it. But basically, it's when the planet appears to be rotating backwards. And Mercury in astrological terms is key to communication. So if it's rotating backwards, or it appears to be rotating backwards, it's not good for communication. So have you guys experienced any of that spooky?
To be fair, I don't know many people on Mercury, so I don't really care which way it sort of spins. But yeah, I didn't know that ad, and I sort of made an assumption that you were on about the planet as opposed to the liquid mercury in thermometers or any other sort of mercury that we might know. So yeah, Freddie Mercury. He's yeah. So yeah, didn't know that. Why would 300,000 people, however many you said, why would they Google that question?
I find that absolutely bizarre. Well,
this Patrick Moore just sort of been like dug up from somewhere, and he's just, oh, I like that impression, dude. For those of you that if you watched on YouTube, that was an absolute
facial impression.
Oh, dude, that was solid.
So next question, but easier one, this one. And this is more of not necessarily an ethical question, but it's definitely an opinion one rather than a factual one. So 60,500 people, still a decent amount of people, have Googled, can you go to heaven with tattoos?
Well,
Jesus forgives all.
yeah, you would sort of say yeah. I don't see why you wouldn't, unless maybe you've got like Lucifer tattooed across the whole of your back or something. I don't know. Yeah.
I've got to share a story, dude. Actually, I hadn't actually noted this down, but it's just reminded me of it. There's a guy who used to work for me, and I won't say his name, but we did a sponsored bike ride once, and he had a superhero costume, and it kept opening at the back, and he had a pretty shocking tattoo on his back, and it was a full back tattoo of Jesus on the cross having fellatio performed upon him. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to say you probably aren't going to get into heaven with that on your back.
But does that? Yeah.
It was pretty shocking. It wasn't very good, but it was shocking.
But I'm going to say yeah, because I know lots of people that are tattooed. Some people are heavily tattooed, and they're good people. I don't know why they.
Know.
well, Andy hasn't got a soul, so he's definitely not getting there, as you see. He's. But I don't see why you can't. It's a personal choice, personal preference. Yeah, I don't see why not.
What about yourself, Andy? Are you confident of your
trip up north?
Down to the cellar. I don't know. I think well, you say I say Jesus, whoever, they always forgive and forget, don't they? If you just pray for forgiveness, it's always preached to you. You could literally murder someone, and not that I recommend you do that, but beg for forgiveness, and away you go.
That's the interesting thing. And the general consensus was there is no theory. There's nothing in the Bible, obviously, saying that you ain't getting into heaven if you've got tattoos. But if you think that that's going to stop you from getting in, the best advice would be don't do it, dude. And that's not great advice from somebody who's coming in. Like I think I was the person you were talking about who could have a few tattoos, Gary.
Yes, you are one of the people that I know that are relatively heavily tattooed. I know that Andy has certain tattoos, and there's obviously various other people I know that do, and each of those people that I know are lovely, kind-souled people, so I see no reason why you would not be allowed in.
Would you ever get one?
I've thought about this, and I know it sounds really, really, really tacky. I probably wouldn't stand the pain and probably pass out, sort of stupid, but I genuinely, the only thing that I would consider would be having my daughter's names tattooed. Now, whether that would be in English and Amy or Abigail, or I would have it in some sort of, whether it would be like a symbol representing them or whatever, that they would be the only thing that I would half consider.
Yeah.
I don't.
Benitez's name on you?
Rafa. Yeah, you go Rafa on that one and out on that one or whatever. I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't think I'd not stand for anything or believe in anything heavily enough to feel as though I need to put it on me, if that makes sense. But I don't. I think my two daughters' names would be the only ones. They'd be the only ones that I would consider having a tattoo. Where that would be, I don't know. You think obviously maybe the upper arm or whatever, or I don't know, maybe on the back. But it's not something that it doesn't massively float my boat. But that would be the only thing that I would. If someone said, "Right, you've got to have a tattoo. What would you have?" It would be my daughter's names. So that would be it.
I'm thinking about getting one done actually. To be honest, I just got to convince Kim with my kids' names on it. I've got an idea for it, and she's going to take some convincing. Would you get your little lad's name tattooed on you, Andrew?
Yeah, I probably will be doing next year or so. I'm going to get my dog on my arm first. Get Sophie's face on my other forearm. Then I'll get the boy on it as well.
So yeah, good to know your dog comes first.
She's a bit older, 13, isn't she? So.
Yeah, fair play.
Fair play. Yeah.
Next question then, and this is Again, this has been Googled again by 368,000 people. Same amount of people that Googled whether Mercury's in retrograde. Whether it's the same people, I don't know. Who is the richest person in the world?
Jeff Bezos.
It is. With a personal wealth of somewhere around about $177 billion.
Doesn't he also hold a record? Oh, is that Elon Musk? I might be doing myself a disservice now. I thought Bezos was the guy that had the biggest single increase in personal wealth over a 24-hour period. And it was something ridiculous. And I'm making the numbers up, but it's something
I think
like...
that's Musk.
Was it Musk?
Yeah. Was it recent? Oh, it was meant to be
relatively recent-ish.
Hey,
yeah.
well, me and Andy found a tenner walking to the pub once. You know, that was a pretty solid increase in wealth.
Yeah, your personal wealth, absolutely. But I'm
percentage-wise compared to him, you know.
Disposable income, happy days. So was it Musk then, Andy? Did you pick that up as well?
It was. Yeah, I thought it was Musk because it wasn't like $1 billion or something like that in a day or something.
Yeah, it's some ridiculous. And as I say, I don't want to do anyone a disservice by giving the wrong stats out, or whatever. But it was just an astronomical figure when you think what these guys are worth. But it was a 24-hour period. So like he wakes up one day, and then the following day he's like £1.1 billion richer. So how can that happen in a day? Do you know what I mean? It's just insane. And it's interesting have you Googled it, dude? Who is it?
It's Musk.
Okay.
And guess how much? 25 billion
in a day.
25 billion.
In a day. Yeah.
Is that what his personal wealth?
Yeah. And he's not even like there is other shareholders in Tesla as well.
Well, I know Big Titty's got shares in Tesla. He was bragging the other day how much that's gone up. That's gone up, I think, like 12 or 14% a day. He was quite delighted with the amount of money he's made in his Tesla stock.
What was that number, Andy? 20 billion.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even know he's worth that much. Full stop.
Billion.
Yeah, that £10
$36 billion. That's $36 billion.
$1 billion.
The American or the European? Is it 1,000 or a million or whatever? So what's his net worth then?
In two quotes then. Oh, 292.6 billion US dollars.
290 billion.
That's higher than the figure I was given for Bezos then.
Bezos is quite poor, 195.
Oh, right, so there you go.
I thought. So does that mean that Musk is then the richest guy?
According to that. But the information I got, but this is from the article, so I don't know when this was produced. So maybe if he's making that much in a day, it can change quite quickly.
Did he turn around and say, sorry, I just did he say, could he give, and again I might have made this figure up, every single person in the world 30 grand and he'd still be a billionaire, or there's some
given that there's 7 billion people in the world, that doesn't quite add up, dude.
But there's a stat that he could give literally every single person like multiple thousands of pounds and still be able to be a billionaire or something. I don't know. I don't know.
I would say if he's worth 290
quid, I think.
Yeah, it's about 30. I was about to say it's about 30 quid.
Is that what it was? Okay, maybe.
So moving on then to a nice easy one then. 450,000 people Googled, why were cornflakes invented?
I've heard of this. It's wasn't it? It's something weird, totally different from just a breakfast thing. It was
not something you do at breakfast. I'll give you a clue. You'd be frowned upon unless you lived alone. Still, you should be frowned upon if you're doing it alone at breakfast, eating cornflakes.
Well, that makes you think of all sorts of weird answers.
Might be right if you're thinking it's going to make your milk a bit creamy.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the rumor. The rumor was it was to stop people masturbating.
It's different what I was thinking.
Oh, was it? Okay. Well, I'm intrigued to know what you were thinking, Andy.
I was thinking what you were thinking, Ad. So what Andy's thinking, I've got no idea.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
He sips out with his barrel.
So how can that? Anyway, yeah, I'm not quite sure how that sort of works.
Well, Mr. Kellogg, Mr. John Harvey Kellogg, or Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, he did believe that masturbation was bad for you, that it was bad for your joints. It could cause epilepsy, amongst other things, probably calluses on the hand as well. But
he was clearly a virgin.
He believed it, but the rumors that that's why he invented cornflakes are entirely false, because he was also a nutritionalist and obviously created as a cheap breakfast for the poor, and then it was easy to digest and it was healthy for them. That's why cornflakes were digested.
I was thinking it's something to do with slaves and not breakfast, but like dinner or tea or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but it's something proper random.
But again,
masturbating.
why would nearly 500,000 people think about asking that question?
That's it,
That's where choky chickens come from.
Possibly, yeah. And and there's a cock on the front of the packet as well, isn't
there? There's no, I won't say that. Yeah, I don't quite understand why 500,000 people would ask that, but hey,
Indeed. Right, next one. 90,500 people have Googled so far this year, are jellyfish immortal?
What? What? No, they're not.
Andy, do you want to?
I think as a species, they've been around forever, but not immortal. No.
It's interesting you say that they've been around forever, because there is a species of jellyfish, and do you know what it's called?
Jellyfish?
Well, there's probably a few called that too, to be honest with you. Well, this one's called the immortal jellyfish. So here's a question now. Throwing that out there, that's his name. Is the immortal jellyfish immortal?
No.
But isn't that the one that regenerates, like if you chop it?
Exactly. Now, this is the interesting thing.
Andy, you know way too much about jellyfish, dude.
Yes. Magic number, 3 beers.
That's it. We also know he's been on Google sneakily already. But the thing about this jellyfish is, now when jellyfish are born, they float around in the water like something that someone's been doing at breakfast while they've been eating their cornflakes, yeah? Before they
carry a bag in the wind.
Yeah, that's good for the American Beauty quote. And so they float around like that until they solidify a little bit and then start to grow legs. Now, the immortal jellyfish, when attacked and when under threat and when suffering ailments, it actually moves backwards during the age cycle. So it consumes its own legs, it returns to that sloppier state and sinks down to the bottom of the floor and regenerates, and then starts to age again in the correct way. Now, is it immortal? Probably not, because once it's in that form, it's actually it's easy for predators to consume it.
Exactly.
But theoretically,
so we're talking about, okay, so is the species immortal as opposed to an individual within that species?
Yeah, that theoretically, if you in the right environment, they could be, although you'd have to live a long time to prove it.
Yeah, exactly. How do you prove that? Because surely, so what are the things that are required to constitute life? And I can't remember, are there like 5 things or 6 things or whatever that you need to constitute life? I don't know, it's like oxygen or whatever, reproduction or whatever it may be. Can't remember what they are.
Well, they do reproduce. Do you consume oxygen from the water?
But if we left one of them in the oceans for a period of time, and I'm talking millennia, would the oceans not become so salinated or whatever it may be that would mean that species can't survive?
Well, that's the question. The theoretically, can they live forever? The answer is yes. But there's no example of them doing it. There was one guy who's been doing an experiment on them for 30 years. It's like...
Yeah, it doesn't cut it really, does it?
Based on that, I'm immortal.
Yeah, I was going to say, are they immortal? Well, I've been studying them for 30 years and they haven't died yet. Well, I'm 48 and I haven't died yet. So, hey, bring it on.
That's it. I'll take it. If you want to call me immortal, you call me immortal. I'm not asking you to call me
I'm not-
immortal, but if you want to call me immortal, that's the way it goes. So here's a good one. Andy will enjoy this one. This is 201,000 people. 201,000 people have Googled this. Can dogs eat bananas? You saying yes?
Yeah. I know it. we give our dog a nana, and she grabs it like it's the most fragile thing in the world. It's Aliens when their mouth opens and that little teeth come out. It's like that. Little teeth come out.
Yeah.
And she just grabs it really gently and fucks off to the other room to eat it.
Yeah, she grabs it really gently, and then when he goes into the next room, she's like,
Oh yeah.
Did you ever tried Mangozo banana?
No.
No, probably best not.
It's not allowed in his household.
So based on that, Gaz, can dogs eat bananas?
Can they eat it? Yes. Is it probably good for them? I've got no idea. But yes, I will go. Andy, as a dog lover, yes.
Dogs can eat bananas, and it's perfectly safe for them to do so, but not as a huge part of their diet because they're quite high in sugar, and it's not good for them in that respect. But a further 165,000 people have Googled, can dogs eat strawberries?
I think yes. I don't think we've given our dog any, but
you're in danger of some of these questions the way they're going.
I'm going to play devil's advocate and say no.
Oh, well, there you go. Interesting that you say that. We've got a different opinion. Yes, dogs can eat strawberries. Again, though, they are quite high in sugar because they are a fruit. But also, strangely, strawberries whiten a dog's teeth. I don't see why they wouldn't whiten a human's teeth based on that. But yeah, they're good for whitening their teeth, apparently.
Right, there you go. I don't know.
Then, 165,000 people Googled this, whether it's the same 165,000, I'm not at liberty to say. Can dogs eat apples?
yeah, but not the seeds. Because they're high in potassium or something like that.
There you go.
I'll go with Andy. He's a dog lover.
He is a dog lover, and he's quite right. They can eat apples. They're high in fiber, and they're high in vitamin A and C as well. So actually, apples are a pretty good part of a dog's diet. Again, another 165,000, probably a large portion of them, I would say, are the same.
Not a peanut butter question, is it? In the dog?
It's not.
It's not a chocolate question because pretty much the answer is no.
Yeah, well, you're quite right there, actually, guys. Yeah, it's poisonous to them, but peanut butter, very entertaining to watch the dog eat peanut butter. Well, that's another matter. Can they eat watermelon?
I would say yeah, but not the seeds. I've never tried our dog on it.
No.
Yeah, it's just water on it. I don't see why not.
Yeah, mostly water. But like Andy says, they can't eat the seeds and they can't eat the skin. I have to say, the first time we gave JJ a watermelon, he sat there and he was loving it, absolutely nailing it. Then he heard it. He's like, no, don't eat the green bit. Probably should have mentioned that before I gave it to you.
It's because I never really ate watermelon sort of growing up and stuff. And the first time I had a watermelon, I don't know, this is a sort of slight on my parents, sorry, dad, mum. When I went to Australia when I was 17, and it was the first time I'd had watermelon, and when we were playing cricket in Australia, they because it was quite hot, we went in February, so it's their summer sort of thing, so it was quite hot, and you would have drinks breaks. When you play cricket in England, you'd have drinks breaks halfway through the innings, which is about 25 overs or whatever. In Australia, you'd have it like every 10 to 12 overs, so you'd have like much more drinks breaks or to rehydrate. And they brought on these like weird looking sort of triangle things, and I was like, what the fudging hell's that sort of thing? It was like, so
got pineapple.
Yeah, so a bit into it, I was like, okay, this is just basically just like pink water, like basically like pink mushed up water type thing. I was like, oh, okay, what's that? Oh, it's watermelon. Oh, okay, yeah, it's all right. It's just water in it. Do you know what I mean? And that's pretty much my first experience of watermelon, and I don't mind it. I don't mind it now. Something on hot days, so it's quite refreshing. But yeah, and literally, but honestly, when we were there, the Australians were just like, bloody bucket loads of stuff. They're just proper chomping through it. It's like weird.
Well, here then. 110,000. We're still on dogs, dude. We're still on dogs. 110,000 people Googled, can dogs eat grapes?
Um,
There's a lot of thought going into this one.
yes,
Andy?
but not seeded.
Yeah, I think it's the same. I don't think I've ever tried.
No, well, it's good you didn't, because actually grapes are toxic for dogs. They're poisonous.
Oh, wow, okay.
That's quite interesting, that, isn't
So
it?
what's the ingredient in them then that's toxic to them?
I don't know, dude.
A grape.
I'm not a dog.
Dude, you do
nutritionist.
research. Come on, bloody hell.
Dude, I googled the 100 most Googled questions. I'm not sure that qualifies as research.
Andy, Google why.
No, don't, because there's others to come.
Oh, okay, Andy, don't do that.
Well, this is the last one.
Is this a dog podcast then?
The dog cast, we'll call this one. So 110,000 people Googled, and this is the last one on dogs, I promised. Can dogs eat tomatoes?
No.
I would tried our dog on it. I'm gonna say yeah.
Well, you're both right, interestingly enough. Dogs can eat tomatoes, but as long as they're red. They can't eat the green bit. And I do know the answer to this one, Gaz, before you pipe up. It is high in, I can't read my own bloody writing though, solanine, which is harmful to them. So as long as they don't eat any of the green bits of tomato, they're fine. It's not going to affect them. The red bits, all good and well. Let's move on then to a nice, easy question. 135,000 people have Googled so far this year. Are unicorns real?
I'm going to say no.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say no.
Andy?
A few minutes to think about
it. Unicorns are mythical beasts. They don't exist. Somebody's probably mistaken a.
Well, we'll come to that. We'll come to that in a second. But no, you quite
rhinoceros or whatever.
Oh, there you go, dude. You've nailed it. That is exactly where the myth of unicorns come from. Somebody mistook a rhinoceros for a unicorn. They must have been on some. They must have been on some pretty strong beer.
Some serious stuff.
Yeah, but here's
is that genuine? Is that what they thought?
100%. That's 100%. The other rumor is narwhals, which makes even less sense because they do have the big old spike, but they are mainly water based.
I was going to say they live in the sea.
That's it. So that's an unusual one. But no, you're quite right. Unicorns, the rumor of unicorns does come from the rhinoceros. But here's the real irony of it all is rhinoceroses are in danger of going extinct. So at some point, the very creature that is a mythical creature could become not so much mythical, but a memory. And that's quite sad, isn't it? That's quite tragic.
Yeah, that's bad. And for anybody that obviously knows me, and I'm a massive sports fan and cricketer and stuff. And Kevin Peterson is doing a lot of work at the moment. They do this Sorai, Sorai, and they're sort of saving the rhinos and stuff. And he does a lot of work in South Africa, poaching and this, that, and the other. And he tweets, and he's opened a ranch and sort of a sanctuary as such. And he tweets various sort of images, not massively often, but every now and then he'll tweet an image of rhinos and their horns have been caught and they've been. It's just horrendous.
But could the unicorn have been a real thing though years ago, and just because there's no records of them, could it just be like a thing that's disappeared? Like dragons, could they have been real like thousands of years ago and died out?
Andy,
you've got Celtic.
Ahead of us here.
I know you've
got 90,500 people.
Dragons are
it's fourth beer now.
90,500 people have Googled, are dragons real?
Dragons aren't real. No.
They're a pretty big part of our history, dude.
They are a big part of our sort of, they're a massive part of our
dragons, they're real.
Culture, heritage, Celts, particularly I would say Celts but
which we know Andy, if it's back, we know Andy is Celtic. So does Andy believe in dragons?
I have a dragon tattoo, full enough, but I think some that would have been that big and that You know, like I see crocodiles and all that shit, they're still around. So dragons, like if they were real, they should be around nowadays. I thought.
That's it, dude. But are they? Because there is a creature that walks this earth called a Komodo dragon.
Yeah.
Don't fly, to be fair, and don't breathe
I
fire.
mean, is that not a lizard?
It is a lizard, yeah. It's a pretty big lizard.
So it's not a dragon, is it?
Well, is a dragon just a big lizard?
Well, wasn't Tyrannosaurus Rex? Was that?
They were
big lizard.
They were reptiles, but they weren't lizards. The dinosaurs.
Wasn't one of the dinosaurs called? I'm sure. Is it the word dinosaur? I don't know. Tell me what I'm thinking.
I think you're thinking of them flying buggers, and I've forgotten the name. Pterodactyls.
No. There was a. Isn't it giant lizard? What's something giant lizard?
Lizard.
Oh, dude, you got me. I'm sure one of the.
You can Google it afterwards, but I'll tell you this now, because there's a fossil found in the Atacama Desert, and it is a winged Jurassic era reptile, and that is 160 million years old. So effectively, is it a dragon? Maybe. And there's also one found in Australia.
Isn't it? Surely
it's not a bird, because it's a reptile. Birds are mammalian, are they, in their construct, in terms of the way that they're.
So basically, it's a Komodo dragon that can fly.
Oh no, they're not. No, birds aren't. Bats are. Oh, that was a bit loud. Bats are flying mammals. I got excited. Bats.
Mammals, aren't they?
I found myself at a wet market consuming one there for a second.
So basically saying Komodo dragon that can fly, that's the carcass that they found.
Well, I did Google this quite a fair bit, and I couldn't get to the bottom of its size. I know I've seen Game of Thrones, and I don't imagine it's anything like that. I'm thinking more like a chameleon with wings.
Right. So I'm not convinced. I think dragons are things of myth and folklore, and I think potentially you could have had, I suppose, a bit like the rhinoceros being misconstrued as a unicorn. I think you potentially could have had different species misconstrued and given the name dragon, but in terms of a species on its own, not having dragons.
Do you think it could have been like like you hear about people saying, "Oh, I got beaten up by this guy who's like 8 foot tall." Do you think this guy was just like fell over and he looked over, saw like a Komodo dragon? It's quite a big animal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the big fire-breathing dragon.
And it had wings, and it had
yeah.
And just like the guy that sat under a tree and wrote, "Once upon a time, there's a guy called Jesus." You're like, it could just all be completely like, it's just we don't know, do we?
Are we really going to compare dragons to Jesus?
Well, absolutely, yeah, the biggest bloody lie.
Listen, there's a fair bit of evidence to suggest that Jesus actually existed.
Yes, I'm sure, and
that's just the tick boxes for scientists, so they keep.
Whether we turn water into wine, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Can you feed 5,000 people or 4,000?
I always think about. You remember Dougie Barnett, though, who taught us at school, though.
Yeah, I do remember Dougie. Bless him.
He's a very intelligent man and a very scientific man. Would you say that?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
He always said that he believed in God because we are so different to anything else on this planet. It was difficult to accept that we have actually, that we used to be monkeys. I mean, I met some people, and certainly Warrington and places like that.
I was about to say, but don't we differ from monkeys in like 0.1% of our DNA or something stupid?
We do, and also, going back to what we were on about with dogs, is it about 0.3% is different to bananas?
Yeah, so it's somewhat stupid, and it isn't like a pig's heart pretty much exactly the same as a human heart or whatever it is.
Well, we're very similar to pigs in many, many ways. I know I've never tasted human flesh, but we're supposed to taste similar to pork. Would you, given the option, dude, someone serves you what you think is a lovely bit of a pork steak, you probably wouldn't go pineapple, you'd probably go...
I definitely wouldn't get pineapple. So
would you go fried egg on top of it? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Would you eat it? If you knew what it was, it's cooked for you. It's there in front of you. You didn't know the person.
If I knew it was human.
Curiosity gets to that.
Nobody's
Googled this, by the way.
So right, so I don't know. I don't know. So I
Yeah,
basically,
but it didn't make the top 100.
So I don't know the person. They're already dead.
Well, you knew him and you didn't like him.
Oh, definitely that. No. Yeah, probably.
You'd try it, would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet me would. What about you, Andy?
I think I probably would. Well, Andy, yeah, 100%.
Bit of reload.
Andy'd rip the arm off. He's like a bloody Wookiee. He'd rip the arm off of a bloody living thing if he was hungry.
Fall asleep in front of Andy.
I was going to say, you've not seen like Conan and stuff like that, where they like eat people's hearts and stuff. And
have you not seen the film? Have you not seen the film Live, where they crash in the mountain and they end up bloody eating each other?
As well in that, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they were dead and their bodies were frozen. So like, actually, to stay alive, we have to nourish ourselves. We're going to have to eat them.
Or did he put a spin on it afterwards?
It's been an hour. I'm starving.
Get the fat lad out.
It's been an hour. Me fat's burning out. I need some more. Come on.
Right then, nice easy one then for you then. 27,100. Moving on from eating our friends. 27,100 people Googled, does tea contain caffeine?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Does it contain more than coffee?
No. Tea contains caffeine, but not as much as coffee.
Andy?
No.
Yeah, you're both right. But here's the thing, though. Tea leaves contain more caffeine than a coffee bean. However, it takes more coffee beans to make a cup of coffee than it makes tea leaves to make a cup of tea.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Technically.
Really? I didn't know that, you see.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. It's 3.3. Tea leaves are 3.5% caffeine. Coffee beans around about 1.1% to 2.2% caffeine. And obviously, when you say a bean, it's not actually a bean. What is it?
It's a leaf.
No, it's the pip from a cherry.
All right. Yeah, sorry, coffee. Yeah,
it comes from the pip of it. Sorry, yeah, should have been clear on that one. But yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. So that's where that rumor starts from. That actually tea contains more caffeine. It doesn't at the point of consumption, but in the leaf, it actually does, which is quite interesting.
Yeah.
And this, I tell you what, dude. And this one made me genuinely sad reading it because 301,000 people. And if you want to answer this one, do it because I'd like to know the answer. I think everybody out there would like to know the answer. 301,000 people so far this year have Googled, where can I find happiness?
Wow.
That's quite depressing, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a famous quote in there at the bottom of this glass.
Where can I find happiness? Now that's a whole podcast on itself.
It is.
For
2022.
Not the meaning of life, though, isn't it? Everyone's perspective on that would be different.
You see, you could turn around. Yeah, Andy, you're right there because you could turn around and say family, but then there'd be maybe some people that listen to this podcast who think, actually, no, I can't in my family or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's a
stinker of a question, isn't that?
Yeah, but somebody, I was reading something. I was at work and I was reading an article, and it said something like the kids these days that lock themselves up in their bedroom and cry were once kids that had hopes and dreams, and you're like, Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? It's like, well, it's a bit dark and stuff, and then
No.
But you're just like, wow, like, you know, these kids that they're crying in the bedroom or this, but you know, they were born with hopes and dreams and grew up with hopes and dreams, and you just like, bloody hell, sort of thing, you know. And I can't remember the guy that wrote the article, but you're like, and he's talking about trauma in this and the other. So like obviously the school I work at, you know, it's all trauma informed. So, but I was a bit like, oh, bloody hell, that's a bit like heavy sort of thing. But that question, dude, yeah, where do you find happiness?
I know. Yeah, I mean, obviously,
is that not just an individual? So therefore, is that not?
I'd say you're right.
The individual person.
There's no physical place, is there? There's no physical place.
No.
I mean, obviously, other than the Emirates or, you know, maybe Heinz Field.
But you could turn around to, you know, go to your happy place. So for some people, that could be on a beach. For some people, it could be in a bar. For some people, it could be in a, you know, I don't know, halfway up a mountain. It could be in a spa. It could be in a hot tub. It could be wherever. Do you know what I mean? So it's go to that place that you feel safe. And I think that's the thing, is safe and happy. That's the thing, you go to your safe place.
Totally. But I thought, for me, the saddest part of that is that 300,000 people are resorting to Google for that answer.
Yeah, because you're never going to find the answer.
Yeah.
There won't be an answer, and that's the problem, isn't it? That you're never going to go onto Google and type that question, and there'd be a definitive answer. Well, you have to go to this place, go here. Here are the coordinates. Go here, and you will be happy. Because there just isn't one, is there? So
no, that one made me a little bit sad. I'll be honest, that did, because don't get me wrong, for the 300,000 people that have Googled it, it's a last resort, and there's probably hundreds of thousands more who know that they aren't going to find the answer there.
Was it? Did you say, was it on the back of last week's? Was it 4,900 or 4,000? However many people?
Yeah, and I'd seen something today.
Like, wow.
Yeah, so that's nearly 5,000 people in England. Sorry, so not in the UK. That was just England. We shared that post because I mentioned on there that I'd seen the figure and I couldn't remember what it was, and we didn't mention it for that reason. So go back and check that post out. But that's a depressing thought, because my fear is a lot of the people Googling that question
are on that path, aren't they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So let's line it up.
Anyway,
450,000 people Googled, why is the sky blue? And I know you two can answer that question for them.
I think it's to do with, is it the stratosphere or the omnisphere, whichever one it is, and it's to do with the gases in the atmosphere, I think.
It is, but what do them gases do to make it blue?
Is it?
Stop Googling, Andy. I can see you looking down, you cheeky monkey.
I'll send you a message, that's why.
Oh.
I don't know. But what's that?
You learn it in
stratosphere, whatever. What's that stratosphere, omnisphere sort of thing? What's it? Yeah. And is it to do with something to the sun? And I don't know. But I'm sure it's to do with something that sits above the earth, and it's.
You're quite right. It's
the stratosphere or omnisphere.
Exactly as light passes through that, the tiny little air molecules cause the light to scatter, and it's called I think it's the Rayleigh or the Rayleigh scatterings, and it alters the wavelength. And blue light scatters more than red light, which is what makes it blue.
Mm-hmm. So when someone says, "Oh, if you look up, sky's blue," yeah, sky's red. No, it isn't. It's blue. Well, it could be red.
Yeah, if we're the other way around.
Yeah.
So in some quantum universe, maybe that's the case. And if anybody's wondering what Andy just Googled me, he's kindly pointing out that if you're watching this on YouTube, I've got an excellent mustache from drinking this rather dark beer stuck to the stubble.
It's a proper pencil tash.
I tell you what, yeah. Terry Thomas has been very proud of that. Well, hello. So, nice easy one then. 550,000 people. 550,000 people. What are you Googling, Gazza?
Nothing.
He's putting a bet.
What does it look like with a pencil tash?
Yeah. Dude, you know me so. I've literally just edited that photo. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
No, if Gaz grew a mustache, Sam Allardyce. Anybody's watching on YouTube, they can see. So 550,000 people. 550,000 people Googled, what are the 5 love languages? Would you care to tell them?
What? That people find attractive?
The 5 love languages. That's what they Google. What are the 5 love languages?
Italian, French,
Scouse.
Spanish, Welsh, Scouse, Black Country. No, so Irish, English.
Irish?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Love accents. French is. I'm not a big fan of French. I think
it's gonna be Italian. It's gonna be Italian and French.
Tout l'amour dans le monde.
It's the Scouse of Europe.
Tout l'amour du le monde. What is that?
Tout l'amour dans le monde. All the love in the world.
Dans le monde.
In French,
okay.
Yeah, dude. No.
Irish accent though.
Yeah.
So we're 2 down. Anyway, Italian and French.
Italian and
You're
French.
not. You're none down because it's based on a 1992 book, and it's absolutely nothing to do with the actual languages that the women or men enjoy hearing from men or women. We don't discriminate here at TBR. So, what are the 5 things that show your good ladies that you love them? No pressure here, boys. If your ladies listen to this podcast,
Big burp after eating cooking.
Time.
What's that? Sorry.
Time. Surely you got to give them some time.
Number 4, quality time. Well done, Gaz.
There you go. You see,
really points.
right, Andy. So we're playing Family Fortunes now. So you've got to get number 1, 2, or 3, otherwise I win.
Was the burp not good enough? My missus is a lucky girl.
You were right with your idea of the spoken word. Words of affirmation.
Yes, you have to tell them, don't you? So yeah.
You've got to tell them.
Got to tell them.
Sorry, Jen, if you listen to this. She won't, but Amy might. You might tell Jen, so I've got to be careful. Go on then, Ad. What were they then?
Words
Yeah,
of affirmation. Acts of service, receiving gifts.
See, yeah.
Okay. No, I'm with you, dude. I think receiving gifts is very, very, very capitalist. And then 5, physical touch.
Okay. Shaking that tash.
Yeah, the old CD tash. A CD tash never does anybody any harm. Although. So, 246,000 people Googled, is Pluto a planet?
Well, this changes more than my knickers, doesn't it? Whether it's a planet or a rock or whatever.
So that's a concern.
Exactly.
It's not a rock, surely.
well, an asteroid or whatever you want to call it, but yeah, it's not.
Well, it could be an asteroid. You see, that's what it could be.
Well, it's not classed as a planet anymore, is it?
Is it classed as a planet?
Now, keep in mind, there's I forget which one now. Is it Jupiter? Is that a gas planet? So it doesn't necessarily need to be made of rock. If it's not Jupiter, don't at me. That's not the question.
I'll say yes. I think it is a planet.
Andy?
No.
No, Andy's right. It is not a planet. It used to be classified as a planet. It's a dwarf planet because a planet has to meet 3 criteria.
So dwarf planet. The fact it's got planet in its name, does that not mean it's a planet?
We're going down the dangerous route here. The Dink is going to be challenged again. We don't want to go down that route. You're egging me on, and I'm not.
We're on about size now. Is that we're going? We'll go. Oh, okay.
Well, to qualify as an actual planet, and we're not suggesting that dwarfs aren't actual people. I make that very clear. But to qualify as a planet, it has to meet 3 criteria. Do you know what those 3 criteria are?
Round. No, I don't know.
You're right.
Is it?
100% right with that one. It has to be round. It has, by its very rotation, the way it moves around, it has to be roughly spherical, and that position mustn't fluctuate. So you're quite right. It must be held together.
Have gravity?
No, well, by the fact it's rotated, it will have gravity. It doesn't have to have gravity to be a planet because the moon is a satellite. It is not a planet.
It's a satellite, and therefore,
So to qualify your first answer, it has to have sufficient mass to assume hydrostatic equilibrium, which is what you said. Near enough.
Yeah.
It's round. That's what it means.
I'll say that's round. Yeah. I don't know what the other 2 are then.
Well, number 1, it must orbit the sun or its star. Yeah, number 1. So we acknowledge that.
It can't be the sun or its star.
In our. Yes.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
In our case, it is the sun. And finally, it has to clear the neighborhood.
Don't know what that means.
In other words, it has to wipe out all its motion has to be enough to move all the other stuff out of the way and make movement to those other astrological beings or astronomical beings, whichever one it is, I forget now, around it. And it doesn't. That's the criteria it does not meet. Seems to me a little bit picky. Seems unnecessary.
So it doesn't meet that.
No,
that's the one. So that third one.
Yes, the one. Yeah, that seems a bit harsh to me.
I get that planets orbit the sun and then satellites or moons orbit the planet as such. I get that. But yeah, okay. Is it? Well, maybe not Pluto now because you've just said it isn't. Isn't one of the planets? Isn't their day longer than their year? Which planet is that? And the day is longer than the year, so it basically doesn't spin on its axis. So the time it takes for it to rotate around the sun is shorter than it takes for it to spin once on its axis. And there's a planet that definitely is that.
I'd like to think he's just said Uranus. But,
oh, dude, I'm on mute. Yeah, I apologize there. So I think it's going to be one that's nearer to the sun. My anus is not nearer to the sun, Andy. You'll be pleased to know.
I don't know.
So Mercury, is that the nearest one to the sun?
I don't think it's Mercury. I don't think it's Mars. It obviously clearly isn't Earth.
I'll give you that one. I know that to be a fact.
Neptune, Pluto.
I tell you what, this is one you can at us. If you know the answer to that question, at us.
There's definitely one in our solar system that the rotation around the sun, i.e., 1 year, is a shorter period than. So basically, the planet doesn't spin on its axis like the Earth spins once every 24 hours, doesn't it? And then it takes 365 days to get around the sun or whatever it is. Whereas there's a planet in our solar system that doesn't do that. So it literally doesn't. I suppose it's a bit like the Death Star. It doesn't spin on its own axis, but it just moves. And there's definitely one in our solar system that's like that.
It's a woman's health product.
Oh, Venus.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I had to Google it.
Is that the second nearest one, or am I going to make an ass of myself by saying that?
I can't remember the acronym.
Well, while you do, here's a question I feel you are equipped to answer. 201,000 people Google this question. I'm going to quote it exactly, word for word. Why am I poop green?
Because you eat the wrong shit.
Yeah, basically.
Too much salad, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. Well, it might be salad.
Chloroform? Not chloroform.
Don't eat chloroform, folks.
What's the thing that makes plants green?
Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll.
Yeah, not chloroform. Because if you start eating chlorophyll, you're probably going to knock yourself out.
Yeah,
hold on. I'm gone.
He's gone again. But no, the reason why you poop green, actually, and it is green poo an unhealthy colour?
I'm going to say yeah.
I might say, don't know. No.
Oh, it's not. Apparently, green is a perfectly normal colour for your poo. I've never experienced it in 48 years to my knowledge, but then again, I've not always paid attention to what's in the bowl. You'll be pleased to hear.
You mean you never go like, oh, okay.
Oh, I always have a little bit of a look. There's going to be times.
Yeah, see, there's got to be a poop chart, though. I mean, so you've got like the turtle head, you've got the boulder dash, you've got the pebble dasher, you've got all these different types of stuff. Surely you have to have a quick look just to see what it is.
I've never done that.
The American football.
Click.
It's one of my
world
favorite
records.
Well, have you ever seen that picture on the internet? And it's probably not real. In fact, I'm going to go categorically. It ain't real. But it's like a closed toilet with a post-it note on it on top of it saying, "Don't flush. Possible Guinness World Record. Gone to get tape measure."
I haven't seen that, but anyway.
No.
Anyway, sorry, dude.
Well, here's a question though. Why would people be googling? Is their poop green? What's caused people to do that?
They've had a look at what they've done and gone.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God.
Correct. But why? Why would they be concerned about it being green if we're told that's a normal health? So why is that in those exact words? Not why is my poop green? Why my poop green?
Everything's associated with it being brown, isn't it? Like
It
all
is.
emojis and all that stuff.
And if it goes green, like Gaz says, it's down to what you eat. The brown, I think, is down to the passing of expired blood from the system. Don't quote me on that. Don't at me again if that's wrong, but I think that's right. The Gaz pulled a lovely face there. It was, you know, like he was passing one into his pants as we said it. But it's a COVID question. At the risk of getting us bloody tagged like we did the last one. Thank you, David. Your question about COVID. You know, we've now got a link when you look at that on the various social media platforms. To click there for more information. Like the stuff we gave wasn't good enough. But yeah, it is related to COVID. Right, last question. Last question is we're coming up to the hour. I've timed this way better than I thought I could have done. And again, I find this quite depressing. The most Googled question, 9.14 million. 9.14 million. And this is going to be the easiest question that you guys are going to answer tonight other than what you're drinking. What should I watch?
Wow. I could go proper generic and just say TV.
Yeah.
Well, we've just subscribed because we've got it 3 months free. Disney Plus. So at the moment, I am watching The Mandalorian. So because I'm a mass. Yeah, well, I'm only 3 episodes in, and I'm proper enjoying it at the moment. So, and I'm a massive Star Wars fan. So, and the kids, you know, the kids love Abby, particularly love Marvel and stuff. So she loves that Marvel verse. But I am quite liking. I'm quite looking forward to watching Loki.
Okay.
Which is a Marvel. Obviously, Tom Hiddleston plays Loki in the Marvel universe, and it's a spin-off sort of series and stuff. But I would say, the other thing on Disney Plus, which is I mentioned about 3 episodes ago, maybe 4, The Walking Dead final series is on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah.
So I might watch that, and I might let you know what it's like. I'm a bit loath to watch it because I was a massive fan for the first 4 or 5 series, and then it went doggo. But I'll probably watch it just to feed back to our listeners and stuff as to what it's like. But I'm going to say what to watch. Wow, you see, because they Squid Game, even though it's crap.
Have you watched
that's massive. I've watched 4 episodes, 5 episodes. Have you seen it?
Nah, it doesn't appeal to me, dude.
Strangely, it's okay if you can get over the absolutely shit dubbing, because obviously it's dubbed and it is horrendous. But actually, I can imagine it if it was like American made and it was American or UK, it would be shit. This is pretty cool, actually. This is.
Do you think they'll do a version like that? Because it did, like, when you think of like The Ring, it's made from Ringu, which is actually a pretty good film.
Maybe, but it's been sort of done now. So I don't know whether you could do like I don't think because it's just exploded over Netflix and effectively it's just gone massive. I don't think you could do it. I think The Ring, based on Ringu, the original wasn't massive, was it? And it was picked up and then turned into something which then became huge. Whereas Squid Game is huge. Yeah. So, do you know what I mean? I don't think you could turn that into something. And
get what you're saying.
But I will say, for me, Mandalorian at the moment, that's what I'm proper looking forward to watching.
Actually, while you're on Disney Plus as well, dude, check out Only Murders in the Building. I found that quite enjoyable as well.
Yeah, and Luca. Did you mention Luca?
Oh, dude, watch Luca. I love
kids have watched Luca. Kids have watched Luca already. So
it's great.
Yeah.
What did they say about it?
They loved it. I haven't seen it yet, but
dude, it's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely joyous. It's human emotions in sea creatures that may or may not be immortal because they aren't jellyfish. We don't know.
But no Mandalorian for me.
Andy, what should we watch?
Talk about Disney. Boba Fett has got a series coming up, and I think it's by the original Boba Fett actor is going to be starring in it as well.
I'd heard something about this. Yeah, I saw
Boba
it.
Fett is a Mandalorian. So is that?
He is a Mandalorian, but this is like Boba, as in the dude who
Boba Fett
in the Sarlacc pit in.
Yeah. Wow.
Is it Empire or Return?
Empire. Oh,
Return of the Jedi, surely.
He's in a few of them.
Yeah.
It's about him.
How many times I've seen that film? I don't know the answer to that question.
I know. I don't know. I don't know if it's Empire or Return of the Jedi. I'll say Return of the Jedi, but it might
it's
not be.
Jedi because Luke's in the black costume, and Han gets frozen in Empire, and then he's in Jabba's palace.
Yeah, it has to be Return of the Jedi.
Tell you what, just watch Star Wars. I'm gonna need to watch Star Wars because clearly I don't know what I'm on about. But yeah, no, sorry, Andy. Anyway, yeah, Boba.
To answer the question as well, what should you watch? TBR on YouTube.
Dude, that's that's what I was given. God bless you for saying it as well. First, get that big barrel in your mouth.
I've drank it all. we're at the end of the questions, but I've drank it all now.
No, fair play to you. So, exactly. Did we enjoy that episode? Was it a little bit of fun?
Oh, no, I enjoyed that. Genuinely thought that was pretty cool. Wasn't quite sure what to expect, but yeah, very good.
Oh, I'm glad
you know what I find interesting is I like data, and so if you look to what like a lot of trends are, like I don't sit in that sort of you know like a group like that. If you all these questions that the top search, I probably never Googled any of them, and it makes you think, well, am I weird and different? Probably not. I think people Googling these things are weird and different. But...
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's weird. No, but
it's interesting though.
But I bet if you, and I don't know what questions you Google, but I bet for every question that you Google, I bet there's like tens of hundreds of thousands of people that probably Google the same question.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? So you can always sort of fall into that. Oh God, I don't
think I've had a Google whack just yet.
No,
Google whack, yeah.
Well, I did. I mean, this is going back years, and for people that don't know what a Google whack is, Google what a Google whack is. And I think it might have been back in the old like Newcastle days or something. I'm sure I had a Google whack, and I might in my mind I did because was it a Dave Gorman thing? Was it back in the day?
Gorman's Google whack adventure, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure that back in the day you spoke about Google whack, and I was like, "What's one of them?" And then I thought, oh, "Okay," and then I searched for something, and it came like your search has returned like 1 of 1, and I was like, "What?" And I don't remember exactly what it was, but I'm almost certain I sort of went, "Hey," you have that like I think I've just had a Google whack. But
in the league.
I might. All right, steady on. But that wouldn't be a Google whack because loads of people, But I maybe think I might have once, but I don't know. Yeah. Don't know.
I don't think I have. I remember Googling something once and it came up 3, and I was Googling
really?
the Salem witch trial, and Titubo being one of the main who were accused. And I Googled something about her and something else. I think it came out with 3 results, and I thought, wow.
Yeah.
I've obviously spelled something.
Yeah. I think I might have had 1, but I'm memory's a bit fuzzy, so don't know.
Cool. Anyway, bit of a different episode. Next week, we're going to be joined by my cousin Beau, assuming that everything goes okay and he travels into the UK because he's due as we're recording this in the next 2 or 3 days' time. So, yeah, we're going to be sitting down here, hopefully streaming it live on the internet if we make that technology work. If not, we need a backup plan, but we're going to have a go at that anyway. So, for now, do we want to say our goodbyes? Who wants to go first?
Loved tonight. Great episode. Enjoy this sort of little slant that I threw at us. Not sure I'm a massive fan of sort of being in the dark in terms of what's coming, but it wasn't too arduous. It was quite lighthearted. Loved chatting to the guys. Loved the last couple of episodes. As I say, I missed a couple, so Great to be back in the fold as such, and look forward to seeing Bo. Hopefully, having a couple of beers with him, and just understanding his sort of thoughts and opinions on the old family thing with Ad. So yeah, really looking forward to meeting him. I hope he travels okay and everything is safe and this, that, and the other. So look forward to the next time.
Cool. Andy?
Yeah, echo what Gaz said. Just to do the same like last week, I've got another Morrissey quote. I've always wanted big shoulders.
And on that note,
Dude, good God, I can't even mute it. Is that Neil or David Morrissey?
it has to be Neil.
Okay. So yeah, thank you for that one, Andy. And I'm very much looking forward to how he's going to finish off next week. Something about his tool, no doubt. So thank you very much for listening. Very, very much like Gaz says, looking forward to next week. I'm very interested to see what Bo has to say and just how he takes the TBR experience, because he will be our 23rd or 24th guest. 23rd guest. He'll be our 23rd guest on the podcast, and he's so he's the only person to travel from overseas and join us on here. So that is indeed a unique experience, and I'm, for one, obviously looking very, very much forward to that one. So from TBR, take care, guys, and don't worry, we'll do something else strange like this when Gaz or Andy chuck the questions at us and put us on the spot. So see you again next time.